When does a job offer become a binding employment contract? Imagine you're offered a new job and you're excited to accept. But have you ever wondered exactly when that offer turns into a legal agreement? Let's break it down. A job offer becomes a binding employment contract when certain key parts come together. First, the employer must make a clear offer. This is usually in an offer letter that states the job details, pay, and other terms. Next, the candidate must accept the offer. Acceptance can be done by signing the offer letter or employment contract, or sometimes through a clear verbal agreement. Once the candidate accepts and communicates that acceptance back to the employer, the agreement is usually considered legally binding. But it's not just about saying yes. Both parties need to have the intention to create a legal relationship. This means they both agree that the terms are serious and enforceable. Another important element is consideration. In employment, this is the work the employee agrees to do and the wages the employer agrees to pay. When both sides exchange these promises, it helps from a binding contract. It's also important to know that an offer letter alone may not always be a contract. If it just states the job details without saying the employer intends to be legally bound, it might not be enforceable. But if the offer letter clearly states that signing, it creates a legal agreement, then it is more likely to be binding once accepted. Employment contracts can be written, oral, or implied through actions. Written contracts are the clearest because they spell out everything like job duties, pay, and benefits. Oral agreements can also be binding but are harder to prove if disputes happen. From the hiring process point of view, the employer usually extends a formal offer first. The candidate reviews it carefully. When the candidate signs or clearly agrees to the terms and communicates that acceptance, the contract is formed. This means the employer and employee now have legal obligations to each other. It's important to remember that until acceptance is communicated and consideration is exchanged, the offer is just that, an offer. It's not yet a legal contract. Once the acceptance happens and both sides intend to be bound, the agreement becomes enforceable. So, when reviewing a job offer, make sure to read all the terms carefully. Confirm your acceptance clearly, preferably by signing the employment contract or offer letter. Employers should also be explicit about their intent to create a binding agreement to avoid confusion later. This way, everyone knows exactly where they stand from the start.